Guts begins as a lone mercenary, a wandering sword for hire who trusts no one. Abandoned at birth and raised on battlefields, he knows only violence, a massive blade in his hands and blood on his conscience. He's a survivor, cold and detached, moving from one contract to the next. Then he meets Griffith and the Band of the Hawk. For the first time, Guts finds brotherhood. He finds purpose beyond mere survival. He fights alongside comrades who become family, and he even finds love with Casca, a fierce warrior who sees past his scars. Guts transforms from a solitary beast into a man capable of trust, loyalty, and hope. But that hope is shattered during the eclipse, a nightmarish event where Griffith, consumed by ambition and resentment, sacrifices the entire Band of the Hawk to demonic forces to achieve godhood. Guts is forced to watch as his friends are torn apart by demons. Casca is brutalized before his eyes. He loses his arm trying to save her, loses his eye in rage and desperation. The Guts who emerges from the eclipse is unrecognizable. He becomes the Black Swordsman, consumed by a singular need for revenge against Griffith, now the demon Femto. He wields a sword too massive for any normal man, hunting apostles and demons through a dark medieval world. Yet even in his fury, fragments of his humanity remain. He protects Casca, now broken and childlike from trauma. Slowly, painfully, Guts learns that revenge alone isn't enough, that he must choose between becoming the monster his suffering created or finding reasons to keep fighting beyond hatred. Walter White. Walter White is a 50-year-old high school chemistry teacher living paycheck to paycheck in Albuquerque. He's overqualified, underappreciated, working a second job at a car wash to support his pregnant wife and teenage son who has cerebral palsy. He's meek, passive, a man who let life pass him by, until a terminal lung cancer diagnosis gives him 2 years to live. Desperate to leave money for his family, Walter partners with a former student, Jesse Pinkman, to cook methamphetamine. At first, he tells himself it's purely practical. Use his chemistry expertise to secure his family's future before he dies. He's terrified, out of his element, coughing through cook sessions in an RV in the desert. But something awakens in Walter. For the first time in his life, he's exceptional at something people actually value. He cooks the purest meth anyone's ever seen, a blue crystal that becomes legendary. With each confrontation he survives, each rival he defeats, Walter sheds his timid exterior. He adopts the name Heisenberg. He murders drug dealers, poisons a child to manipulate Jesse, orchestrates prison massacres, and bombs a nursing home. The man who couldn't stand up to his own car wash boss becomes a ruthless drug kingpin who declares, "I am the one who knocks," with chilling certainty. His family falls apart. His wife fears him. His brother-in-law, a DEA agent, hunts him. Yet Walter keeps cooking, keeps lying, keeps choosing power over redemption. In the end, he admits what viewers knew all along. He didn't do it for his family. He did it for himself. Because being Heisenberg made him feel alive. Eren Yeager. Eren Yeager is 10 years old when the Titans breach Wall Maria. He watches his mother devoured alive by a smiling monster while he stands helpless. In that moment, his purpose crystallizes. He will kill every last Titan and give humanity freedom beyond the walls that cage them. Eren grows into the archetypal hero. He's hot-headed, passionate, willing to sacrifice everything for his friends and his people. When he discovers he can transform into a Titan himself, he becomes humanity's greatest weapon. He fights alongside the Survey Corps, charging into battle with righteous fury, screaming about freedom and vengeance. He trusts his friends Mikasa and Armin. He believes in a simple truth: Titans are evil. Humanity must survive. Then the truth shatters everything. The Titans aren't mindless monsters. They're people, subjects of Ymir transformed as punishment. The world beyond the walls isn't empty. It's full of nations who hate and fear Eldians like Eren, who see them as devils capable of becoming Titans. This knowledge breaks something in Eren. He infiltrates the nation of Marley, befriends a boy named Falco, then orchestrates a devastating attack that kills thousands of civilians. He manipulates his friends, pushes away everyone who loves him, and unlocks the founding Titan's ultimate power. His solution? The Rumbling, unleashing millions of colossal Titans to flatten the entire world outside Paradise Island. Billions of innocents, men, women, children, crushed beneath marching giants. When his friends beg him to stop, Eren tells them they're free to try to kill him, but he won't stop until every last person beyond their island is dead. The boy who screamed about freedom becomes freedom's greatest enemy. willing to genocide the world to ensure his people's survival. He goes from victim to perpetrator on an apocalyptic scale. Thorfinn. Thorfinn is 6 years old when he watches his father murdered by Askeladd, a cunning Viking mercenary. His father, Thors, was a legendary warrior who had abandoned violence, teaching Thorfinn that a true warrior needs no sword. But those lessons die with him. Young Thorfinn joins Askeladd's band with a single purpose: become strong enough to challenge Askeladd to a duel and kill him in honorable combat. For over a decade, he becomes the crew's most efficient killer, slaughtering countless men in brutal raids across England. Straight demon mode. He earns the right to duel Askeladd through blood. He's empty inside, a weapon sharpened by hatred, fighting only for the opportunity to end the man who destroyed his childhood. When Thorfinn finally gets his revenge, it's stolen from him. Askeladd dies by another's hand, and Thorfinn collapses into despair. Sold into slavery, he works the fields in a hollow trance until he meets Einar, another slave who still believes life has meaning. Through Einar's friendship and the haunting dreams of his father, Thorfinn awakens to a horrifying realization. He's murdered innocent people, burned villages, destroyed families just like his own was destroyed. The revenge he pursued made him exactly what he hated. This breaks him completely, but also rebuilds him. Thorfinn vows to atone, to never kill again, to create a peaceful land called Vinland where war doesn't exist. The vengeful demon becomes a pacifist, taking blows without fighting back, seeking to save lives instead of taking them. He transforms from a blade seeking blood into a man searching for genuine redemption and peace. Daenerys Targaryen. Daenerys Targaryen begins as a terrified girl sold by her abusive brother to a warlord. She's property, powerless, married to Khal Drogo in exchange for an army. But she learns to survive, to adapt, to find strength. When her brother demands his crown, Drogo gives it to him, molten gold poured over his head. Daenerys watches without flinching. After Drogo's death, she places 3 dragon eggs on his funeral pyre and walks into the flames. She emerges unburned, cradling 3 living dragons, the first in a century. The mother of dragons is born. She becomes a liberator. In the slave cities of Slaver's Bay, she frees thousands, crucifies brutal masters, and declares herself the breaker of chains. Former slaves call her Misa. She's righteous, compassionate, determined to rule justly. But ruling proves harder than conquering. Her enemies multiply. Her dragons kill innocents. She begins executing those who defy her, burning them alive. In Westeros, the people fear rather than love her. Her dragon dies. Her closest friend is beheaded. Jon Snow, the man she loves, is revealed as the true heir, a threat to her throne. She stands before King's Landing. She's won. Then she burns it all. Women, children, surrendered soldiers, incinerated as she reduces the city to ash. Hundreds of thousands die screaming. She believes she's liberating the world. Jon drives a dagger into her heart, ending the tyrant she'd become while still believing herself the hero. Arthur Morgan. Arthur Morgan is Dutch van der Linde's right hand, a hardened outlaw who's robbed, killed, and intimidated for 20 years. He's the gang's enforcer, the man who does what needs doing without question. Dutch raised him, gave him purpose, and Arthur repays that loyalty with absolute devotion. He believes in Dutch's vision of freedom, of living outside civilization's rules. But it's 1899, and the Wild West is dying. After a ferry robbery goes catastrophically wrong, the gang is on the run, desperate and fractured. Dutch becomes increasingly erratic, making reckless decisions that get people killed. He preaches about loyalty and family while abandoning those principles when convenient. Arthur begins to see the cracks. Dutch allies with violent men, dismisses Arthur's concerns, and leaves John Marston, Arthur's brother in all but blood, to die. When Arthur contracts tuberculosis from a debtor, he beat for money. He's confronted with his own mortality and the weight of his sins. Everything shifts. Arthur starts questioning orders, protecting the vulnerable, helping strangers without expectation of reward. He ensures John's wife and son can escape. He retrieves money for the gang's women and children, knowing Dutch has abandoned them. In his final confrontation, Arthur rejects Dutch entirely, calling him out for becoming exactly what they once fought against. The loyal outlaw dies seeking redemption, not for himself, but ensuring the people he loved could find something better than the life he lived. Michael Corleone. Michael Corleone returns from World War II, determined to stay legitimate, assuring his girlfriend Kay he's not like his mob family. When rivals try to assassinate his father Vito, Michael volunteers to kill them, shooting a police captain and drug dealer in a restaurant. He flees to Sicily but returns transformed, cold, and calculating. He takes over the family, orchestrating the simultaneous execution of all rival bosses during his nephew's baptism. He orders his brother-in-law killed for betrayal. When Kay asks if he's responsible, Michael lies to her face. The door closes as his men call him Don Corleone. The decorated hero became more ruthless than his father ever was. Joe Goldberg. Joe Goldberg is a bookstore manager who seems charming and thoughtful, but he's dangerously obsessive. When he meets Beck, he stalks her through social media, watches through her windows, and manipulates her life. When people get in his way, her ex-boyfriend, her best friend, Joe kills them, locking victims in a glass cage and justifying each murder as protection. But Joe's transformation is actually an illusion. Every season he moves to a new city, finds a new woman, love, Marianne, Kate. He frames himself as a romantic, searching for true love, yet every relationship follows the same cycle. Obsession, idealization, possession, and murder. He's a sociopathic killer who's convinced himself he's the hero of a love story. He never actually transforms. The only thing that changes each season is his victim. If you've made it this far, make sure you subscribe. We're pushing for 50,000 subscribers by the end of the year. And drop a comment with any video ideas you want me to make next.